am more than breast cancer.
I am more than gastric cancer.
I am more than Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 3.
I am more than Lynch syndrome.
I am more than metastatic male breast cancer.
I'm more than PMDD.
I am more than diabetes.
I am more than lupus.
I am more than FAP.
Welcome to More Than a Diagnosis. I'm Den.
And I'm Jes. This podcast is about so much more than cancer, chronic illness, or the labels we've been given. It's about reclaiming our lives, finding community, and thriving in ways we never thought possible.
Whether you're a patient, a caregiver, or just someone curious about what it means to live beyond a diagnosis, we're so glad you're here.
So, Den, you have some big news to share. What has been going on in your world lately?
Well, I am officially back to work, and it's been quite the journey to get here, but I finally made it. And I've worked a couple shifts now, since I only work a couple shifts a week, but it's definitely interesting, I've got to say. You know, working an entire 12-hour shift while battling chronic illness is definitely different than what I'm used to.
I'm sure.
I mean,
it's a whole new ball game, right?
It really is. 6 years ago, I didn't have to think about, hey, where's the bathroom? Do I need this for my nausea? Like, none of that. None of that. I got a bag full of supplies. Hot packs, cold packs, sour candy for nausea.
You're bringing the whole hospital with you to the hospital.
Yes, absolutely. Diapers, because, your girl has bowel issues, so it looks completely different, absolutely different. And I am going to have to get adjusted to all of this. But I am just so happy, though, because it's been great.
I'm so
been
happy for you.
So much better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really happy about that part.
Because it's been 6 years, right?
6 years. And nursing looks so different.
Yeah.
In mostly good ways, at least where I'm at.
Yeah.
I know other places, my own experience as a patient, nursing has changed. And in some areas, not for the better, but at least where I'm at, I really love the culture, and it's just a family.
That's so
awesome. Such a really happy, supportive work environment, and that's so important. And
absolutely.
I don't think
especially after being gone so long, and then stepping back into that. It's huge that your first week back to work was such a positive experience.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I mean, the learning curve is extremely steep. There are a gazillion million things that I need to learn or brush up on because I'm seeing a whole lot of new procedures, things I didn't know or didn't even exist back then. So it's pretty
crazy
cool.
How fast technology moves. And then to kind of have stepped out of that world on the provider side of things into the patient side of things.
Yes.
And so maybe you've seen it a little bit, but then stepping back into the provider side, really seeing that stark difference from, 6 years.
Yeah, it's so different. On Friday, a patient's bed spoke to me. Literally. And, I jumped about this high and
you're like, who's talking to me?
Why is the bed talking to me? Apparently the beds talk.
Wow.
So.
That's awesome.
Okay.
That's so cool. Technology, man. You just never know.
Yes.
Talking beds. It's wild.
And they warned me, but I'm like, yeah, sure, Until it talked to me and I jumped up and, they were all laughing as well. It was pretty funny.
You're like, sure, the bed's going to talk to me.
I'm like, sure. But
and then suddenly
it is. Did.
That's wild. That's pretty cool. That's
Very
pretty
cool.
cool.
Very
I
cool.
love that. I'm super happy for you. I know it's a long time coming.
It really has been, but it's been so validating.
Yeah.
Especially when I didn't really think that I would get back. And to now be back and spend time with patients and connect with them. Yeah. It just feels so good. Like, my heart is truly full. And
that's awesome.
I'm just pretty happy.
I'm so happy for you. I think it just shows that, when we are diagnosed with something major, that healing doesn't follow a certain path. There's not always a clear picture of what things are going to look like, because I know just 2.5 years ago, there was not a whole lot of clarity on if you were gonna go back to work and if you ever thought that that would be possible. And now look at you. You're back to work.
It feels surreal. It really does. But
I'm so happy for you.
I can't wait to see what's in store.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel really good about it.
I'm glad. I'm so glad.
Yeah. How about you? Let's talk a little bit about you.
Girl. My body is going through it these days. And this is just not, it's not where I thought I would be. I realized the other day it has been a year and a half. We're in June. We're in mid-June. My last chemo was in August of 23. My last Keytruda treatment was in December of 23. I'm a year and a half outside of treatment, and I never would have thought that this is where I would be, still trying to navigate health issues. I knew after finishing treatment, or even when I was going through treatment, I realized that my life would never be the same again.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that I had to get to a place where I accepted, kind of a new normal for me, because my life has completely changed in so many ways. But I never could have anticipated that this is where I would be a year and a half after, getting such good results from cancer treatments and being no evidence of disease. And so it's a little tricky, because I've been dealing with a lot of long-term issues from the immunotherapy from Keytruda. And my oncologist was great. He was validating to the experiences that I was having physically. He was doing his best to try to treat the symptoms, but things were just not getting better for me. And so I was referred to a rheumatologist, and that was last month. And she wanted me to stop the current treatment that I was on so that she could see if my lab results would come back, out of whack, which they have every time I've gotten off of any kind of treatment. So she basically was like, I want it to get so bad that maybe you feel like you need to go to the ER, which I'm like, okay,
no.
that's the last place I want to be.
No going to the ER.
No, talk about trauma. So, the pattern that it's been for the last year and a half, I've been off treatment for a month. And so all these not fun symptoms that I've been having every time I'm off treatment have all started to come back. And, I've been tracking them for the last month. I have 15 ongoing physical symptoms that I'm dealing with. And I just went and got lab work done yesterday. So we're one step closer. Now I'm waiting for the results. And I go see the rheumatologist on Friday. And so I'm just hoping that we finally get some answers.
Yes.
Because I am on the struggle bus.
I truly hope the labs reflect how crappy you feel right now so that you're one step closer to getting answers. I really
hope
do.
So too. I hope so too.
Because you're absolutely miserable. And, it's hard to navigate when you look back at the actual timeline.
Yes.
And you think, well, by this time, I should be feeling differently.
Yes.
And you're kind of still, it's up and down.
Exactly.
You haven't plateaued yet.
No.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's really hard to navigate.
It is.
Not having a constant flow. It's not settled.
Yes.
It's all over.
Yeah. And I know that, our pals who live with chronic illness and have had to kind of fight to get a diagnosis probably know what that's like, to just be having to kind of continue pushing forward, keep taking one step at a time, do the test, try this medicine, try that medicine. Yeah. And, after a while, it can really wear you down. And on top of that, having to deal with, not so fun physical symptoms after going through cancer treatments is it's a whole it's a whole thing, you know, because your body is tired, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally, all of it. And
then you're fighting for answers while you're feeling icky.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be so frustrating.
Yeah. You know, we originally were not planning on talking about this today.
Right.
We had, you know, a different topic planned for today, but healing is not linear and it goes through phases, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally. But the one thing that I feel like it shows and where we're at is that good things can still happen even when you're struggling.
Absolutely. And just because good things are happening, it doesn't negate the fact that we still feel crappy at times.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Both can exist.
Yeah.
Simultaneously.
Do you feel like it's made people think that you're like better now?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're back to work?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've had a few people, not going to mention names, but I've had a few people say, oh, wow, I'm so glad you're good now. That one was a little awkward. And I'm like, well, not exactly. I'm learning how to navigate life with chronic illness.
Yes.
To a point where I can try to go to work. And it looks different. Mm-hmm. I'm still trying to figure out what that looks like.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a slam dunk.
No.
Absolutely not.
No. Well, and I mean, you've never worked without a colon before.
No.
Or you've never worked knowing that you had a tumor in your body. Like, these are things that you live with that you can't see on the outside. So people see you in your scrubs. They see you with your makeup on. They see you working 12-hour shifts.
Yes.
And I'm sure it's easy for people to think that you're suddenly all better. But just because you went back to work doesn't mean that your problems just vanished.
Absolutely not. I mean, ask me 11 and a half hours into my shift. And that's usually around the time where I hit a wall. Mm-hmm. A wall that I didn't really know existed until that first shift.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, my body just stopped in its tracks.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, that's it.
Isn't that such a crazy feeling?
Let me sit down. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there literally negotiating with myself, trying to psych it out. Like, hey, got one more hour. You could do this. And my body's like, nope, I really don't want to. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
We gave it all.
Yeah. We're like, we're done. We're done. We're clocking out.
No.
You're like,
no,
not yet. Not yet. We're almost there.
Almost there. Another hour and then we get to drive home, which is
another hour.
Part of it. Another hour. Exactly. Another hour. So
oh, man.
It's definitely interesting.
You know, I feel like prior to getting sick, I don't know if you had this experience, but prior to getting sick, I could push through pretty much anything. Yeah. You know, like not feeling good, have a migraine, feeling fatigued. Like I could just keep pushing my body, which I realized, I mean, I kind of knew it at the time, but I was like, it's fine. Yeah. And I convinced myself it was okay, even though I knew it probably wasn't, but I could do it. And now I cannot. Like, I physically cannot push past a certain point. And that is like a whole new experience that I am still trying to get used to.
Yes. Because I feel it's something that, because we're not used to, it's like, whoa, what is this?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm not accustomed to this. What's going on? I'm used to, you know, being able to push through what's going on, body.
Yep.
And it's hard. It's really hard to process because that's not who we used to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so we've got to reconcile that while our body goes through it physically. It's
yes. It's like you feel frustrated because you can't do as much as you used to do. But then you're also grateful that you're able to do these things that you're doing now because a year ago you couldn't do them.
Yes, absolutely.
And then you feel a little guilty because you're like, okay, but I still need to do XYZ, you know, I still need to spend time with my kids. I still need to, you know, pay these bills or whatever it is. But then you're like, I just can't. Like, you have to spend your time so differently and then navigate all the emotions that come with it. Not to mention the pressure from the outside. Even if people aren't coming out and saying these things, I think sometimes it's even on this bigger level of societal pressure.
Oh, absolutely.
To get back to normal.
Because that's what we're supposed to do, right? We're supposed to get sick, get better, and then we go back to normal. But that's not exactly how things go.
No.
It's absolutely not. That's unrealistic, I think. And we don't often talk about it enough.
Yeah.
We don't. I feel
agree.
like maybe if we talk about it more, then we can help society see the reality of it.
Yes.
You know?
For both chronic illness and also, in my case, for cancer survivorship. Because, you know, the last month I've really been struggling. So obviously, like, if you know me, then you know my content has kind of reflected that on TikTok. If you don't know me, you might not recognize it so much. But my content has reflected it because I've been struggling so much. And so I've been posting about how, you know, when cancer treatments are over, it doesn't mean it's over.
No.
And I've gotten hundreds of comments from people saying how they are struggling, how nobody understands, how they're trying to get back to work, and like all these different things. And I have recognized what I think is happening is a lot of cancer survivors are suffering in silence.
Absolutely.
Because of this expectation to get better. And well, now you're cancer free. So now you're on the other side of it. So you just need to move on. But that's not how it works. And it's not fair when you're struggling physically and emotionally and trying to recover from this thing that literally flipped your life upside down and you can't even talk about it.
Because you're done.
People don't understand because you're done. So why are you still talking about it? Why is it still bothering you so much? You're not going to chemo anymore. You had your surgery already or whatever it is. Your radiation is done.
But you're left with the aftermath of treatment, of immunotherapy. All of that comes with an incredible amount of side effects.
Yes, and then our friends who are still taking medications.
Yep.
You know,
5, 10 years.
Yes, 5, 10 years, having to take oral chemo, having to take, you know, hormone suppressants, whatever it is, it really affects our bodies on such a deep level. And there's this expectation to be healed and to be done. But people don't understand that it doesn't work that way.
And it impacts your mental health. So I know we've mentioned the physical aspect, you know, of healing. That's definitely not linear. But the mental health aspect, all of that plays a huge role.
Absolutely.
And we see it from time to time.
Absolutely. It is an emotional roller coaster that we did not ask to be on and we cannot get off of. No. You know, it's like you have a rough day, so then you get down on yourself and then you start feeling guilty. And then, like we were talking about before we started recording, like you start second guessing yourself.
Yes.
Am I really feeling this? Is this really what's happening to my body?
Is it really this bad? No, it can't be that bad, right?
Yes. And where does that message come from? It comes from these outside expectations of the fact that we should be better by now. And that, like you said, it just takes a toll on us mentally and emotionally. And it's hard. It's hard to, you know, I feel like we kind of have to make peace with the ups and downs.
We do. I mean, it's easier said than done. And here's
Always.
the part of it that I think, I struggle with is there will be days that are okay, and then bam, comes a day that's super, super hard. And I was kind of getting used to those okay days. And then I kind of get hit upside the head and, whoa, where'd this come from? And so you're kind of left picking up these pieces.
Yeah.
And emotionally you're broken because you don't want to feel this way.
Yeah.
Yet this is your reality.
Yeah.
So it fluctuates day to day. And that's
Absolutely.
another aspect of healing.
Yeah. Well, and there's just so much to heal from also emotionally that I think doesn't often get noticed and worked on until after treatment is over. Because a lot of times, especially, you know, for cancer survivors, like a lot of times when you're going through cancer treatments, you put your head down and you just get through it. Yeah. And you're not really handling the emotional aspect of it or thinking about all the things that you're going through while you're going through them. And so then you get to the other side of treatment and suddenly you look up and you're like, what just happened?
You've been in survival mode.
Did I really just go through all of that? Mm-hmm. And then it kind of hits you sometimes, and then it hits you out of nowhere sometimes. And it's a lot to process, and it's a lot to navigate while you're also trying to just get back to normal life, you know? And it's rough, but what I've recognized for myself that is a key thing that I need in my life in order to navigate this is being in community.
Absolutely.
Even if it's virtual, but being and surrounding myself with people who understand what I'm going through, that I don't have to explain myself. And I don't have to feel like I'm defending myself. I don't have to feel like I'm pretending. You know, I don't know if you've ever felt this way, but, you know, when you're having kind of a rough day, but you're trying your best to kind of go through the motions and do what you're quote unquote supposed to do, but you're just like trying to rest, and then somebody comes in the room and you just suddenly feel like you need to jump up and do something.
Yes.
Because you're like, I don't want to seem like I'm being lazy, and then you're like, okay, but I'm not being lazy. Like my body you're not falling apart. Yes.
You're not bed rotting. You just don't feel well.
Yes.
And sometimes that calls for rest. And you're listening to your body by resting. Yet their society's pressure means, hey, stop being lazy. Get up. Move. There's so much that needs to be done.
Yes.
This, that. Your list is endless. Your lists.
Yes. All the lists.
It's more than one list.
All the lists. But that's where I feel like community comes into play, because if I get online and I talk about how I'm having a rough day and how all I could do today was cook dinner, and that's all I could do, people will come and be like, I'm so proud of you for cooking dinner. I know that wasn't easy. Oh my goodness, all I could do today was take a shower. Or, you know, and then they share their experiences, and you just feel so seen in what you're going through. Because I feel like if you're not in community and you're not spending time with people who understand, at least sometimes, then you're going to have even more of those guilty feelings of not doing enough or not being enough.
I don't know if it's happened to you, but let's say you post about how rough your day is going and someone comments, wow, I'm glad it's not just me having a bad day. Or they say, thank you, I really needed to hear that.
My favorite comments.
Oh, it just feels so good, like you said, to be seen and validated and just know that you're not the only one going through a rough patch.
Because it's easy to think when you're in it, it's so consuming and it can be so overwhelming that it feels like you're the only one who's going through this. It feels so isolating at times. And so when I post about these things, yes, I'm posting to help other people because I want other people to not feel alone in these feelings and these things that they're trying to figure out, or if they're still having symptoms and being gaslit. Like, I want to be able to help people feel less alone. But on the other side of that, it also helps me feel less alone.
Yes.
Because
absolutely.
if I'm having a rough time and I can go to those comments and be like, see, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm not the only one, right? Logically, in my brain, I know that there are other people who are experiencing what I'm experiencing. I know that to be true, but it's easy to get online and see people who are survivors, who are back to life, back to work, going to the gym, running marathons, like doing all these amazing things, traveling the world. And then it makes me feel like, well, what's wrong with me that I can't do those things? But then I have to remind myself, like, everybody is different.
Absolutely.
And I don't know what their life looks like outside of what they're sharing publicly. Yes. I'm not with them every day. And so I can't compare myself to somebody else because it's so easy to get trapped in that place. And so when I share my story, it's not so that we're comparing and competing over who's got it worse, who's got it better. It's more to find the people who can relate to what I'm going through and who can validate the fact that healing isn't linear. It just isn't. It would be nice if it was.
So, what are some things that you're focusing on, or what are some things that I'm about to put you on the spot?
Oh, shoot.
That you try to focus on when things are really rough?
That's a good question. You know, I really recently have been focusing on my mental health because it feels right now what's happening to my physical health is kind of out of my control at the moment while waiting for diagnosis with whatever's going on after, immunotherapy. I can't really do a whole lot about that. And so I am choosing to try to focus on the things that I can do something about. And that is working on my gratitude, working on my self-talk, and working on just being kind to myself. And when I have those thoughts of, you're not doing enough, you should be doing more, why haven't you done this yet? Why haven't you checked that off your list yet? Instead of staying in that place of guilt and frustration, I just try to be gentle with myself and tell myself what maybe I would tell you. And I would tell myself, it's okay. You're doing the best that you can. You're doing all that you can, and you're probably doing more than you should. If we're being honest, you're probably pushing yourself a little too hard, but not so hard that you're gonna make it that bad. But I try to talk to myself in a way that I would speak to you because I love you and I want the best for you. And so I'm trying to do that for myself. And what about you? Because I feel like you're in such a good place right now that, I want to hear kind of just how this I don't even want to say small win, because this is a huge win for you to go back to work. Like, how does it feel to be on this side and to be in a place where, like we said, maybe 2 years ago, we didn't think that you would be here at this point doing this? What has that brought up for you, I guess?
So many different emotions, but I think the biggest one of all, other than me being so happy and just so proud of myself, is gratitude.
Yeah.
The gratitude. It makes such a huge difference, and we can be full of gratitude and feel crappy at the same time. Yes. And I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there again.
Yes.
Because both things can exist at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But I've noticed that when I lean into that gratitude, it makes it almost a little bit easier to accept the physical issues, especially at work, because I'm in a situation where I can't go and lay down.
Yeah.
Like, I've got to push through.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've got a toolbox that, I have full of tools that can help me with my symptoms that I know can potentially happen throughout the shift.
Yeah.
But gratitude is probably the biggest emotion and the biggest difference I've felt.
Yeah.
is that gratitude, when it consumes you, it makes things feel tiny. Doesn't make it all better. It doesn't. But it kind of gets me to a point where I can accept it a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And giving myself grace is also one that I'm practicing.
Yes.
Because yes, I'm back to work. But that doesn't mean that my chronic illness is gone.
Yeah.
I still am walking around with a tumor that, you know, it weighs you down a little bit physically.
Yeah.
You know, like you can feel it. Like, you know, and so I've got to remind myself that, yes, I'm back to work, but I still also have to take care of myself while I'm back to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if I'm able to take care of myself, then I can better take care of my patients.
Absolutely.
You know, but it's definitely brand new territory. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe ask me in a month with a better answer, but that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. I think that's a good reminder, you know, is that it's going to ebb and flow.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You know, it's okay to have to reevaluate. It's okay to even have these relapses where, you know, you're struggling. That's all normal. And we hope that through this conversation that helped you to feel a little more seen in whatever it is that you're navigating, whether it is long-term symptoms left over from cancer treatments, whether it is medications that you're still having to take, whether it's chronic illness, whether you're waiting for diagnosis, navigating new diagnosis. It's a lot. And you're enough. And what you're doing is enough. And if you need that reminder, just remember that you are enough.
Thanks for joining us on More Than a Diagnosis. We hope today's conversation left you feeling seen, heard, and maybe even a little more connected.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might need it.
And if you're looking for a place to connect with others who truly get it, join our support circle at morethanadiagnosis.org, where we will continue this conversation. It's free, it's welcoming, and it's built for you.
Because no one should have to navigate this alone.
Until next time,
keep living, keep growing, and remember,
you are more than a diagnosis.